I know I'm a little bit late with this topic, but I did say that I would talk about any updates regarding Marathon in my first video. And while there have been some updates since then, you look back on my video talking about the Marathon plagiarism scandal, I basically laid out that there's like three options that they could possibly do at that point. One was canceling the game, one was just releasing the game the way it is. I mean, scrubbing out whatever pieces of art were plagiarism, of course, or delaying it. But two of those options, them releasing it and delaying it, I've said would both probably end up shutting the game down overall. That's basically what I said. But it seems Bungie has gone with route number three, and they're going to delay the game indefinitely, and they have not given a new release date for it since. This is ported from a blog post directly from the Marathon development team posted on Bungie.net, and we're going to go over that right now. Thank you for not only your passionate feedback around the Marathon reveal and alpha playtest, but also for your patience while we took the time to listen closely and chart our next steps. Through every comment and real-time conversation on social media and Discord, your voice has been strong and clear. We've taken this to heart, and we know we need more time to craft Marathon into the game that truly reflects your passion. After much discussion with our dev team, we've made the decisions to delay the September 23rd release. The alpha test created an opportunity for us to calibrate and focus the game on what will make it uniquely compelling. Survival under pressure, mystery and lore around every corner, raid-like endgame challenges, and Bungie's genre-defining FPS combat. We're using this time to empower the team to create the intense, high-stakes experience that a title like Marathon is built around. This means deepening the relationship between the developers and the game's most important voices, our players. Over the next few months, we'll continue close testing, including participants from the alpha, to deploy gameplay updates and test new features as they come online. Some of our immediate focus areas will be upping the survival game, more challenging and engaging AI encounters, more rewarding runs with new types of loot and dynamic events, making combat more tense and strategic, doubling down on the Marathon universe, increase visual fidelity, more narrative environmental storytelling to discover and interact with, a darker tone that delivers on the themes of the original trilogy, adding more social experiences, better player experience for solos or duos, prox chat so social stories can come to life. You'll hear from us again later this fall when we can share the progress we've made alongside the game's new release date. Thank you again for your patience and, much more importantly, your passion. Your continued feedback will help us make Marathon the incredible game experience we all know it can be. If you want to read that post for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, it seems like, based on that, they're going to work on a lot of the game's biggest issues, from what I've seen, is that the solo experience is atrocious. Terrible. I didn't get to play the alpha, so I can't speak on it for myself, but they're saying they're going to fix that, which is a good thing. Another big thing I noticed that they said is that they're bringing prox chat in for social stories to come to life. Now, that's not even just like a real... Another funny thing is that they're finally going to add prox chat to the game. An extraction shooter. And adding prox chat later in the fact. Were they going to add this later in the fact if they didn't have to delay the game? I mean, like, extraction shooters basically need prox chat. Even the most basic extraction shooters on Steam have prox chat. It's just one of those staple features that belongs in the extraction shooter genre, so I don't know what they were thinking not including this at first. Another really big thing that they're doing is, when they say they're doubling down on the Marathon universe, a darker tone that delivers on the themes of the original trilogy. I'm not sure if you all have ever played the original Marathon trilogy, so let's kind of compare and contrast what the original game looked like and compare it to the current game right now. Now, it's not really a fair comparison because one game came out on PC in 1994, one's coming out in modern day 2025 or whatever the hell it's coming out now. But we'll get the point. You can get the atmosphere from one game to another. So here's what the original Marathon looks like. And here's what we have for the new Marathon. So yeah, pretty major difference, right? So I don't know how the hell they're going to change the current art style to kind of be similar to the original art style. I have no clue how they're going to do that because it seems the release date still might not be as far off as we think. But 4 days before the delay announcement, there was an SIE presentation, which is Sony Interactive Entertainment presentation, and Herman Holtz got on stage to talk about upcoming PlayStation games and such. And according to Paul Tassi, this is what was said during that SIE presentation in regards to Marathon. I will also have a link to the full article in the description if you want to read it for yourself. But basically, what's being said here is that he comes up and talks about Marathon, but then we see that there's a banner on the bottom with the focus FY25. Strong early engagement for Bungie's bold and innovative new title. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, FY stands for fiscal year, so Sony's still planning for the game to be coming out fiscal year 2025, which the end of the fiscal year 2025 would be in March 2026. So now you can see my skepticism a little bit. It's only about a 6-month delay. I don't think they're going to be able to change that much of the art style within that amount of time. You know what I mean? I mean, sure, Prox Chat, upping the things for solo players and duo players, and making the game more fun to play, more rewarding, and such. All that stuff could be done in 6 months. But the main problem, which a lot of people don't have a lot of goodwill for this game anyway, is due to them plagiarizing their art style. That's the main problem here, in my opinion. Because, look, let's be honest here. All that other stuff they're talking about doing is nice, but you got fucking caught, and now you have to pivot direction. And that's the main reason why I believe you're delaying this. When the solution to this whole thing is two things mainly is one, don't steal your fucking art style off somebody else's work, and two, maybe not make it an extraction shooter based off a already well-established franchise that wasn't anywhere close to an extraction shooter, and especially when that franchise has a decent-sized fan base too. And ultimately, that's why I think the game may still be DOA when it comes out, whenever the hell it's going to come out, because of the art style scandal. But now I'm realizing now is that a lot of people aren't into extraction shooters, right? And especially when it's a well-established classic shooter franchise like Marathon. And we've seen other franchises, especially from that time, such as Wolfenstein or Doom, come back with a fresh modern coat of paint and done really, really well. And it's just kind of disappointing for a lot of people, and it's not the direction I think a lot of people wanted from a Marathon reboot. So when I say the game still might fail, even if they delay it, this is what I mean, right? I feel like the inception of it is flawed from the very concept of making an extraction shooter. And look, before I hear people in the comments say that it would have been oversaturated if they made it kind of similar to the new Doom and Wolfenstein games, right? I didn't want that from this game. I didn't. I really didn't. Doom and Wolfenstein are their own things. And even though this original game came out around the same time period, it's still not the same as those games, right? Even though it still has similar bones, it's different enough that we could have done something different from the direction that we did with those, right? And look, I understand the need for some type of multiplayer component, especially because since Sony's trying to get into the live service games genre mainly. But there are more ways I feel like you can make a marathon game that isn't in a genre as polarizing as extraction shooters. So let me know what you guys think about the delay, if you think the changes are enough to save the game. I personally don't think so because, like I said, the concept of making it an extraction shooter is flawed from the start, and the scandal really didn't help much at all. So we'll see what happens. We'll see in the fall what happens, and I'll report on it then when they decide to show more stuff about the new direction the game's kind of going in, or if and what changes come. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all the good shit if you like the video, and I'll see you later.